Hello everybody, it's me, the Real Local Maniac. I'm back again with another game review. As you can see, today I'll be playing Fast Food on the ZX Spectrum. Now, it's an interesting cover there. Dizzy getting chased by burgers, chickens, and even a chef. It's a lovely loading screen there, even though it does look like Dizzy's being chased by the ghost from Pac-Man there.
Fast food.
Right, that was some nice, interesting sampled speech there. Now, this is Fast Food. This game was written by the Oliver twins. Now, I believe this was the third game that the Oliver twins made about Dizzy. After the success of Treasure Island Dizzy, they got asked to make another game, I think just before Christmas, and they knew that they couldn't, do another big adventure game in that time, so they decided to knock up a Pac-Man style clone, and they knocked it up in a matter of about, 2 weeks? And this is the result, which is Fast Food. Now, as you can see, it does look like Pac-Man. Dizzy doesn't quite look like Dizzy there. He looks more like a potato there, and he's the wrong colour there. He's yellow. Now, the first few levels of this game are pretty much an introduction to what the game will be like, just so you can get a feel to it. Now, the game has got some really nice music there. The music is really, really catchy. Now, the reason why I'm doing this particular video is a few weeks ago I was meant to be doing a Dizzy podcast for the 1HMPS Retro. It was meant to be a whole podcast dedicated to Dizzy, but unfortunately the podcast didn't turn out well for a number of reasons. But one of the games we did talk about was Fast Food, and we all remember it, you know. It was like me, Glenn and Otto. We've got fond memories of the game. So how does this game play now? To be honest with you, it didn't play that fantastic then. The game was slow, cumbersome, it didn't necessarily look nice, and you can tell that the Oliver twins did rush it, you know. This game was done just in a couple of weeks. It's not the best Dizzy game in the series, but again, it was a nice sort of diversion from playing your typical cartoon adventure Dizzy games. Now, let me tell you what I think the problem is with this game. Okay, it's not a looker. Dizzy doesn't look quite right. The music is phenomenal. I really enjoy the music, but I find that it's too slow. The controls are too slow, and it really is just a really simple version of Pac-Man. I think if Dizzy controlled a little bit faster, was a little bit more responsive, it would play a lot better. Alright, that's level 2 complete there. Now, in the second level, it's when you get your first baddie there. I don't know whether that's meant to be some sort of burger or something like that, but the baddies in this game are really intelligent, actually. That's one thing it's got going for it. And I guess it's one of the things it's got going against it, really, is that the enemies really do try and trap you. You know, in Pac-Man, they're a little bit more easier. In this, it's hard to actually get, beyond a few levels, because they really the enemy patterns is they just really chase you around. That's one good thing about this game. Alright, this is another thing very similar to Pac-Man. At the end of 3 levels, you get like a little cartoon animation there, and it's like a little comic thing. You get funny things there. So I remember as I was growing up, this was one of the things that I used to look forward to, because it was a little touch of humour which kept you going. Right, guys, time to talk about something slightly different. Right, so if you have come across this video and it's the first video that you've actually seen of me, my name's Andy, aka the Real Local Maniac. Now, I do loads of videos on YouTube. I recently stopped doing videos on YouTube. I just got a little bit fed up of it, and so I've decided I'm going to start uploading videos here instead. And if you do know me, guys, nice to see you again. I will be doing loads more 8-bit wars. Now, so what is the 8-bit wars? The 8-bit wars are videos where I compare the 3 home systems, which are the Spectrum, Amstrad, and the Commodore 64. Now, those are the 3 main popular home systems in Britain. You know, there were other home systems all around the world, but the 3 main ones that we got, like in Britain, were like the Spectrum, Amstrad, and Commodore 64. And then sometimes I do arcade conversions where I play a bit of the arcade game and then just see which version is the best. and other times I just do like a, a random game that appeared on the 8-bit computers. So I'll be doing loads more of those videos, WTFs, 16-bit wars. Now I'm recording this in December, so I will be doing more videos in the new year at some point. Anyway, that's all enough of plugging that stuff on, guys. Oh yeah, one last plug. The podcast, we will release another podcast. You can find that podcast in iTunes by simply typing 1 Hour Monthly Podcast Show, and it will show up, or 1HMPS. Now, speaking about the podcast, there's 3 different podcasts. There's 1HMPS, Random Ramblings, where we talk about anything and everything. That was a podcast that me and my co-host Phil used to do. I will be doing another one of those. The other podcast is 1HMPS in-game music, and that's where I basically play music from basically games. And the next episode will be about the Sega Master System. I was going to do it ages ago, but I got delayed. And the last podcast is probably my favourite podcast, is 1HMPS Retro, and with that I've got my amazing hosts with me on that one, which is Glenn 83100 and Ototo 72. Guys, if you haven't checked out their channels on YouTube, please do so. They're amazing people, and they've got amazing stuff on there. Anyway, going back to this game, there's one thing I'm going to try and do and change what I do from my videos on YouTube to this, is I'm actually going to give it a review score. I'm going to score it out of 5. So, 1 being really bad, 2 being just not as bad, but 3 obviously middle ground, 4 good, and 5 excellent. I did originally plan to score the games like that, but for some reason I never did it. Alright, let's look at this AI there again. Look at that, those guys just bloody trapped me there, like they gang bang Dizzy. Poor little guy. He does look surprisingly, happy. Ah, they got him again.
Game over.
Right, so it's game over for Dizzy, and it's game over for me today. Guys, I will be back with another video in the new year. Hopefully you've enjoyed this, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye.